I found out that my son, 5M, is not mine and made the decision to divorce my wife. Well, here is my story. A couple of weeks ago, I, 32M, found out that my wife, 33F, cheated on me 6 years ago. 2 weeks ago, we visited my wife's sister over the weekend, and during some drunk conversations, it came up that my wife had slept with her best friend 6 years ago. She wanted to come clean about this and said she was very sorry, but there was something making this whole ordeal even worse. The moment she had cheated on me coincided with the conception of my son. This left me restless, and immediately after leaving her sister's house, I went to take a paternity test, fearing the worst. A week later, I got the results, and I ended up being correct. My son is not mine. This revelation changed something in me. I began to see my son differently, and with proofs in hand, I confronted my wife at night when my son was sleeping. She was clearly shaken by this and urged me to take a second test, but I am not going to do that because the doctors assured me that the test was correct. I told her that I was filing for divorce, and this left her devastated, as she swore to me that nothing had happened with anyone apart from this one time. She told me she had been faithful to me in body and soul since then, but I can no longer believe a single word she's saying. She had hidden this fact from me for 6 years, so I can only imagine what else she did not tell me. During our discussion, she threatened me, saying that she would demand full custody of the child. I was so annoyed at that moment that I told her that was fine, as I didn't want anything to do with a boy that was not mine. I regret saying this now, but at the time, my emotions just took over. After I said that, she changed her narrative, trying to convince me to take care of the child with her, and that as his father, I had the responsibility to financially contribute to my son. At that moment, I just left, knowing all too well that nothing good would come from this conversation. A week has passed since I confronted my wife, and I am alone at our home. It is in my name because it is a gift from my parents. She went to her parents' house with her kid and has not called me since. I have talked a lot to my parents, and my dad told me that he feels I did the right thing. He's rather conservative-minded and feels that I shouldn't be raising a kid that is not of my blood. At some moments, I tend to agree with him. However, he has still been my son for the last 5 years. All he has ever known is me as his daddy, and it feels unfair to condemn him for something his mother did. I'm really unsure on what to do. I have been seeing a therapist 3 times a week, who has advised me to take things easy and to not make sudden decisions that I might regret later. While I agree with him, it just really hurts that the family I had no longer exists and will never return. For now, I just hope the divorce goes smoothly. We have separate finances, and our property is fully in my name. I'm still not sure what will become of custody and potential child support, but I guess I'll have to figure these things out. Either I ban the child out of my life completely, as I am not his real father anyways, or I accept that, although he is not my blood, that he is still my son. I really feel torn on this. I would really like some input. What should I do here? My girlfriend, 29F, had the audacity to cheat on me in my 26M face. My girlfriend and I have been in a relationship for 4 years and have been living together in a rented apartment for 2 years. Yesterday, she and I went to a party where we both got drunk and had a lot of fun. At the party, there was a guy who was clearly on the hunt for female attention, and from time to time approached a random woman and asked for a kiss on the cheek. As the girl would move in to kiss on his cheek, he would move his face, causing his lips to collide with the mouth of the girl. I warned my girlfriend about that guy, and I told her about his trick. I told her to be careful, and if he were to approach, she should get me. A couple of hours later, I was dancing with my girlfriend, and the guy comes up and asks my partner his trick question. She, being a bit drunk, takes me aside to have a quick talk, and tells me that nothing will happen, and that if he tries his trick, she will move back herself, so they don't kiss. Taken back by this, I told her that I did not agree with this at all. I told her I did not understand why she would even want to kiss his cheek, and shared with her that I thought this was a very bad idea. She ignored what I said, however, and before I knew, she accepted his request and she went to kiss him. I don't know why, but I wasn't surprised when she didn't back away like she said, and ended up kissing him. She then looked at me with an uncomfortable face, then the guys went the other way to continue with his fun. I wasn't mad at him, I was mad at her. I just turned around and left to our apartment, She followed me, saying that she didn't have time to react and that it wasn't her fault. I told her that, since we were in a public place, I wouldn't make a scene here and we would talk when we got home. Once at home, I told her that I felt it was entirely her fault as she saw how the guy pulled of his trick with other women. I reminded her that I even warned her that this could happen and she still did it, willingly. She tried to defend herself, saying it was the alcohol that made her act reckless, but I told her not to come out with these shitty excuses. I told her she was fully aware of what happened, did it willingly, and that this was pure infidelity straight in my face. We had some further discussions, but nothing came of it, and we ended up going to bed, me sleeping on the sofa. The next day, she had to visit her sister because of her birthday, but I told her that I would not go. I also explicitly said to her that I want to reevaluate our relationship if she is going to use alcohol as an excuse for her infidelities, and that I cannot trust her anymore. If she willingly does this to my face, I don't want to imagine what she would do when she is alone with her friends. Before leaving, she begged me not to exaggerate, and that I cannot throw away a 4-year relationship for a non-consensual kiss. I told her once again that she agreed to play that boy's game and knew what would happen. Now I'm sitting at home thinking on what to do next. A part of me really wants to tell her to go to hell. The rent contract ends at the end of the year, but I was thinking of using a part of our savings to pay the rest and end it prematurely. I don't want to be with someone who I cannot trust and kisses the first idiot that we meet at a party. But on the other hand, it makes me quite sad to have to leave this relationship. I think I still feel feelings of love for her, but forgiving a lack of respect like this is opening the door to more infidelities in the future. My younger sister and my parents agree with me, but my older brother, who is the closest person to me in the family, thinks I am overreacting. I really don't know what to do. I know it was only a kiss, but it feels like she broke my trust for her. I really need some advice.